Jay Cutler here. We're down at Muscle and Strength, and we're in the kitchen, and we're doing something different today. Normally you see Jay Cutler in the gym, and you don't see as much behind the scenes things, and I have a specialty that I want to introduce today, and it's Jay Cutler's protein pancakes used to mix with oatmeal. And of course, we're going to cook those up and show a tasty recipe that I like to use to get all my carbohydrates and my protein in. We're going to start off introducing all the product. Of course, we got Jay Cutler Total Protein. We have the oatmeal, which we use in Quick Oats. Pam, of course, spray Pam. We have the egg whites here. We have Splenda, which I prefer to use. Doesn't mean that necessarily has to be the sweetener that you use. And of course, some cinnamon to sprinkle on a mixing bowl. All right, so I'm going to start off. I'm going to preheat the pan, okay? Since we're using an electric stove, sometimes it's a little easier to preheat. Obviously, when you cook at gas, and I'm home in Las Vegas. But all right, so we're going to start off. We're going to put the oatmeal into the mixing bowl. We're going to use half a cup of oatmeal, okay? So I'm using a 1 cup measurement here, okay? I'm going to put this into the bowl. Okay, that takes care of that. And then I'm going to mix 1 cup. We have liquid egg whites here, which is sometimes easy. Of course, you can crack your eggs too. This is equal to 6 egg whites in here, which is about 18 grams of protein. We're going to mix this in the bowl. That takes care of that. Okay, I'm going to add 1 packet of Splenda in here. Sometimes I do 2, depending on the sweetness. We're going to do 2 scoops, which is 44 grams of protein. Mix that in there. This is going to be the total amount. I mean, you're talking 60 grams of protein between, of course, the protein and the oatmeal. And then we're going to mix this, which is going to be much easier to use a whisk. I only have my, of course, wooden spoon today, so you probably want to whisk it up for, a good couple minutes. You can use a blender. Now, what I have here, like I said, it's about 64 grams of protein, 34 carbohydrates, and about 6 grams of fat. And what I'm going to do is I usually make 1 big pancake. I usually suggest maybe 2. Okay, so 2 decent size. And the funny thing is, I used to be a cook when I first started getting into bodybuilding. A lot of people don't know I worked at a restaurant. My sister's boyfriend owned a restaurant. I was a line cook, so I was actually in charge of the pancake station. So I should be a professional at making pancakes. So we're going to let this cook a little bit, and of course we have the cinnamon. You can either put on after. I prefer to mix it in a little bit because I really like cinnamon. Anyone that's seen, my cooking in the past, what I've preferred, I always use cinnamon in my contest prep. I mean, it's something that gives a little more flavor, and it tastes kind of sweet. So obviously, when you're dieting, it makes it pretty special to eat. So I'm going to let this cook for each side for about, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. We'll try these things out and see how they taste. A little more cinnamon on there. A little more flavor there. I like sweet things, so makes it a little different. There you have it. So 64 grams of protein. Here's your pancake right there. Enough, I try to take in between 60 and 75 grams of protein per meal, obviously. I try to reach my protein content each day. Split over 6 meals, I try to take in that amount, so try this out. As you can see, it's cooked all the way through.
Very tasty.